right, y'all, check this out. Donald Trump flew all the way to Alaska just to get played like a cheap ass date. Check it out.
The President of the United States, the leader of Russia, showing up at what was billed as a press conference. No questions were taken from the press. Let's kick off this special coverage with an all-star lineup. Nicole Wallace, host of MSNBC's Deadline White House, former U.S. ambassador to Russia, Michael McFaul. He's an international affairs analyst. Jen Psaki, host of The Briefing here on MSNBC. Ali Velshi, host of MSNBC's Velshi. And Democratic Congressman Eric Swalwell of California. It is good to see you all. Ambassador McFaul, you and I got to watch this together, scant on the details.
No details. Yeah. Absolutely no details. The word that jumped out to me in the translation, and I want to emphasize that, when Putin was speaking, was the word agreement. He said we had an agreement. President Trump didn't underscore that. So we don't know if there was any agreement at all. There were no details at all about what was discussed, other than it was a very, very good meeting. It was extremely productive.
There was no agreement. There was nothing discussed. You know what I'm saying? Trump went in there thinking he's just going to, I guess, say some shit and Putin was going to agree to it. And he knew it wasn't going to happen. I think they went in there for some different reasons. You know what I'm saying? Some different business reasons.
Productive meeting, but we know almost nothing about what was agreed upon, which leads me to wonder if there was any agreement. In fact, you can call it what you want, but if there was a real agreement, we would know some details. That we don't know anything is striking to me, and that this was a press conference and then they walked away taking no questions suggests that probably there wasn't a lot that they wanted to discuss with the press.
Nicole Wallace, no details, no agreement.
Trump didn't want to take no damn press conference because he already knew everybody was going to ask him about the Epstein files and all everything. We still was going to be on it. They still was going to be on it. You know what I'm saying? And Putin didn't want to take it because he didn't want to ask him what kind of deals y'all struck up. You know what I'm saying? What y'all got going on between y'all? So both of them like, fuck it. You know what I'm saying? We ain't going to answer no question. None. We just going to get on out of here. They ran. I think Trump ran faster than he
did. What then was the point of this meeting?
Well, I think the press conference underscored something that Ambassador McFaul and Ali Velshi and I have been talking about since 4 p.m. Eastern. I mean, this was, for Trump, a television production that may have been rooted in different motives, but one of them was likely to change the topic of news coverage. It succeeded in that. We've all been covering this all day, for better or for worse. But clearly, Trump was not in control of anything. I mean, Putin was the alpha all day long, from Trump holding on his plane and waiting for him like a, middle schooler waiting for their first date.
Trump was not in control of nothing. You on American soil and you ain't in control of shit. You let the bully come over here and just bully. And you clapping for him like he your girlfriend. Your girlfriend. You know what I'm saying? You ain't seen it in a long time. Man, come on, man. What is wrong with this dude? Real talk. You got treated, man. Treated.
The red carpet that rolled out and the choreography. I mean, I went to dozens of foreign trips with the president. It is very rare to have a red carpet and then an ascent to a platform and then a walk down the stairs into a limo together. I won't say it's never happened, but it's exceedingly rare to the point that I can't think of it ever happening before. And then Donald Trump, don't stand between Donald Trump and a scrum of reporters asking questions if you don't want to be stampeded. There's no way it was Donald Trump's decision or request to take no questions. He'd be talking until 9 p.m. Eastern if he'd been in control of anything that happened today.
It began, Ali Velshi, with Putin calling the U.S. and Russia dear neighbors.
Yeah, talking about how close
we are. There was a history lesson.
Now, I don't know what's going on with it. These just two different crazy ass motherfuckers just meeting up in the room and shit. Flew all the way to Alaska for no damn reason and talking about some crazy. U.S. and Russia was friends. They friends. What the fuck? Since when was this? Even though Donald Trump was in that damn office, we are not friends. Y'all, and you ain't Donald Trump friend either, nigga. You just trying to take it, you know what I'm saying, trying to take advantage of him. But we ain't gonna get into all that, you know what I'm saying? Let's roll.
Lesson about Alaska somewhere in there, and then it ended with an invitation for the president of the United States to come to Moscow.
This is like my lunch every day. It's a lot of production and not many calories. The Alaska as a Russian colony until 1867, it was going in a direction that Donald Trump, I don't know if he's read up on that. Then he talked about
no, he got a history lesson here too.
Yeah, no, he talked about, Putin said the relations between the United States and Russia have fallen to their lowest point since the Cold War, as if that just kind of happened. Right, like we just grew out of touch. Some grass has grown between us. He did say that they see Ukraine as a brotherly nation, and naturally, the security of Ukraine should be addressed as well. Again, forgetting, and with Donald Trump, he wouldn't remember this, but in 1994, there was an actual agreement when Ukraine had the nuclear weapons, and they said, we're going to give them up if you all, the United States, Russia, France, the UK, nuclear powers would guarantee our territorial integrity. Didn't happen. So this.
Okay, so that's another thing. Ukraine actually had fucking nuclear war. You know what I'm saying? Bombs and shit. They gave them up. You know what I'm saying? Because of the nuclear agreement in there. They gave them up. But were expecting America, France, and all the rest of them. And they were expecting Russia to never just invade them. So they gave that shit up. And then what Putin do? Man, he went right on around and when hey, fuck, I'm gonna take your land. You ain't got no bombs no more. And now we got Trump in there, so he half ass on their side, but probably whole ass on their side. But shit, dang, y'all just went against agreement. Just fuck them over. Fuck them people over.
This was not only not an agreement, and I think Nicole will remember this from her days in government, and Ambassador McFaul will remember, sometimes agreements don't come, and sometimes there's a communique that's put out. Sometimes there's an agreement for something else to happen. This was just like, what did you guys talk about? What happened here? Where you came out and just had a few niceties for each other and an invitation to Moscow. What actually happened? Because this was billed as the thing that was going to be the end of this war that Donald Trump was going to impose on his first day in office. Then a few weeks ago, he said, this is more complicated than I thought it was. Apparently, it's yet more complicated because we are no further away than we were 3 hours ago when we started talking about this.
Congressman Swalwell, if you are a Republican in Congress who has in the past been an advocate for democracy abroad, what are you thinking as you watch this meeting, this whatever you want to call what it is that you and I just watched?
If you're a Republican in Congress, you just saw a Kremlin kiss ass in the president of the United States, somebody who squandered an opportunity to confront a ruthless dictator who is killing innocent children and kidnapping innocent children every single day. I don't know what this meeting accomplished other than taking the Epstein files and inflation out of the news, but you have meetings like this to
bingo. That's all it was for. This whole thing, he wasn't going there trying to solve nothing, trying to help no people, trying to save no people from getting killed, no, none of that. It was because he wanted to get the Epstein files up off his ass. He probably had a little business, you know what I'm saying, him and Putin talk about a little side business and everything, you know what I'm saying, for his sons to run a little some kind of business down there. He probably did that too, knowing him. But it was just to get them Epstein files off that ass.
Achieve objectives. You don't just have meetings like this to gather the gang together. It was embarrassing to watch. It was frankly more embarrassing than the Helsinki conference because he toasted Vladimir Putin as if he was receiving a lifetime achievement award, a total nothing burger, a waste of time.
So just to recap, Nicole Wallace, we knew coming into this that just the invitation to meet with a U.S. president on U.S. soil for the first time in 18 years was a gift to Vladimir Putin, that he, regardless of what happened today, he was going to be able to walk away and sell it as a win to the Russian people. What does Donald Trump have to sell to the people of the United States?
Well, I think you have to look at what he's engaged in right now. And what his chief political imperative is right now is to get his own base of supporters to stop asking him to release the Epstein files. And so Tulsi Gabbard and John Ratcliffe are engaged in an effort to manufacture a narrative about the 2016 intelligence assessment. And what's interesting is that as little as was discussed, Donald Trump spent the most time talking about what he calls him Vladimir, what he and Vladimir have been through together. And he referenced the Russia hoax a half a dozen times. I mean, Vladimir Putin in Russia is proud of his efforts to interfere and meddle and weigh in and have a say in the 2016 election. Vladimir Putin was also touting a very mission accomplished, if you will, message before he left Russia. So the sort of either willful ignorance on Trump's part about how much Putin gained just through the invitation before his plane ever left Russia, and how much time Trump spent on his political mission, which is to deflect from the scandal over the lack of transparency about the Epstein investigation, to divert all that heat and energy among his own base of supporters to a phony narrative about a Russia hoax, seemed to take up more time than just about anything other than flattering Putin today.
Which I think Ambassador.
All right. So this dude, we finding out he just running away from the problem, the Epstein problem. As y'all see, everybody see that everybody's saying that this meeting was for nothing. They ain't getting nothing accomplished. Nothing. We know about it. They ain't trying to release nothing. So it's just about the Epstein files. But you got to come back home and still answer the questions, y'all. So we ain't gonna even trip about that. But we finna leave it right here. And remember to like, subscribe, and all that old good stuff. And I'll see y'all next time. Peace.